Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this series, what we're gonna cover is all the basic Python to the advanced level Python, and then with the machine learning concept. Because the goal of this series is to move from a data analyst role to a machine role. This series is also be helpful for someone who wants to switch into data science role, because we are gonna cover all the basic concepts of machine learning, which you can use for data science roles like model building for all sort of model which are there will cover in this series. In this series every day we're going to cover few set of questions, and these questions are based on the difficulty levels we're going to solve. So guys, the ultimate aim is to get a good package, get into a very good company, one of the top tier company. But if you don't end up being in a top tier company, the goal is still to get enough money. And if we are not getting into a very good high paying bracket, like which is above 40, I will say still target for something between 25 to 30, because that's what I feel like. If someone is having an experience of 2 to 3 years of uh, 2 to 3 years of experience in data analytics, that person can easily get a package between 20 to 30 LP. I don't think so. Undoubtedly, you can get that package. So in this series, the ultimate goal is to get into a good company. If not a good company, at least a role which gonna push you beyond your limits. Because we get stuck into a specific role and we not gonna grow. Just in order to grow, you need to push your limits. You need to keep on putting that passion to learn new things, and that's eventually will end up with a good money. In this video we're going to cover or this 1 week we're going to cover basic Python skills. We're going to cover the loops, functions, how to call the different scripts. In another script we're going to use Jupyter notebook. We're also going to use the Python scripts. Okay, so without further delay, let's start with our questions. Just a note, these all questions are from ChatGPT. You can go ahead, make your own structure, make your own journey towards this goal, but make sure you show up every day. Make sure you put a timeline for yourself, because if not now, then when? You need to start right now. If you have joined, if you have clicked on this video, definitely your goal is something around this circle, which is like a good package, good role, or at least going into machine learning. So my goal is 100% going into machine learning advanced. I definitely don't see myself into data analytics role anymore, because um, I feel that this is not what I want to do for next 5 years. So definitely I want to learn something new. So I always have this thing for machine learning. I think it's because of boom, but back in my um, college days, I always was so enthusiastic about machine learning, what's happening in this world, what is happening in data science world. I have met a lot of very good people who are now at a position. They are doing very good in a very big MNCs, or I'll say FANG mostly. So let's start with this basic uh, Python exercise first. Then in the next playlist, which is day two, we're gonna cover few more advanced things, and then eventually we're gonna solve like this lead code sort of questions, but not 100% lead code, because those are very lengthy, and then we have to go inside, look into some optimization thing and all this. I just want to make it short. First, for at least a refresher view, for first week it will be very easy, straightforward question we are dealing with. Later we're gonna do with the projects and everything. So let's start. Okay guys, so first we're gonna start with strings. The first question comes: remove extra spaces and multiple spaces to single single character, or like single letter. Okay, so in my code book I'm using Jupyter notebook. So like whatever is your preference, you want to go to the Jupyter lab and then start with it, or you want to go use Google Colab, completely up to you. I've been using it for my day-to-day work as well, so I feel VS Code is more familiar to me. Okay, so the first question is: remove extra spaces and multiple spaces to a single sentence, we can say, or like remove any sort of additional spaces. So since we are working with string, we know that there is one function which is straightforward, that is stripe, so we can just use the stripe function. So for this we're gonna first mention the, or first declare the variable at least. So my variable is input, sorry, where input, enter enter the word or message, let's say whatever is your message, and we're gonna, so you don't have to explicitly mention print, but I prefer to use print because sometimes I use multiple printable statements, so definitely I do need it. So, and then just extra space. Okay, we're gonna run and we're gonna put a lot of spaces first. Okay, if you're gonna put quotes, it's not gonna pick it up. We first need to enter a lot of spaces. The is huge, and then give some one space and then enter. Okay, the output we got here is the world is huge. Okay, so you don't see any, if even if I try to double click it, I don't see any extra spaces. So, also, guys, this is also a journey where I am learning for myself. Maybe your pace could be different. You can go with your own pace. If you already know the answer to this, make sure you revise it because we're definitely not gonna miss the small things. We never know where we're gonna use these small functions. It's always helpful to give it a shot. At least try it out. Even if you know the syntax, even if you know it, just make sure you write it to build up your confidence for this Python refresher. Okay, next thing is to capitalize initials. So this is a bit tricky. Like when we see capitalize, the first thing come to our mind is capitalize function for string. Right, a lot of you might have seen the uh, dot capitalize function for the string, but over here it's a bit tricky. We got the example also. So with for the John Doe, we need D also in caps. So to get that, we have another function which is called as title. So we're gonna use the function title in the string. Again, I'm gonna copy the above defined key variable, just give it a name 2, then print where 2 dot title, and I'm gonna print it. So let's enter something like Phoenix, or just gonna give it a small Mari and enter. So if you see, I have kept the Mary as M small, but we got the initials as caps. So this is for the capitalization of initials. Now there is a next question: count digits versus alphabets versus special character when passed into a string. Uh, so if you go back and see our document, we'll see count digits versus alphabets versus special character. So this can be solved in a multiple ways. Since this is a basics of Python, I'm just gonna stick to um, one thing, that is, yeah, I'm gonna stick to one thing, that is the basic for loops. You can do it in the list comprehension, but again it's completely up to you how you wanna handle all these like level of difficulties in a question. Definitely take a pause and then use your way of it, and then check if your way is better. Just comment um, in the down below, and if you find that the way I used is better optimized, just feel free to comment and share your thoughts on that. Okay, so let's start with something like this. I'm gonna use for loop. What I'm gonna do is, for this specific string, okay, I'm just basically gonna use three lists or maybe two lists, and it can be either special characters or alphabets starting from A to Z. So since this is just a learning session, I feel I can go and check on internet if we can get the something for string characters, like special characters or something. Just go and search for probably list of methods in Python or of special characters. Let's see, there is a list. Can we use range? Okay, so with the help of range, we can actually specify the ASCII characters and then we can get it. Mm, okay, maybe what we can do is let's go to the ASCII range and then I think this is way much better. Uh, okay, try to follow this approach. Seems interesting, and this is something new. I haven't tried something like this. Okay, so one list will be ls for our characters is equal to this. Second ls for our digits is equal to something like range. Do I need to use range? I don't think so it is required, but then still, since I'm using this way, I'll just stick to this one, or I can mention it specifically. For special characters, I'll just use this else statement. Better to not get into too much complex things. And yeah, I can keep it this way. Okay, let's first see if we are even getting the SK characters. Sorry, getting the lowercase letters when we are printing this. Okay, awesome. I think rather than just now defining for uppercase, I definitely gonna be I'm gonna be using it lowercase. So okay, and then dot lower, define it on the first place. Okay, and then same for ls digits. Oops, that is interesting. What is C? Let's find out what is CHR here. Okay, there is a generator for. Let's see if it's the what we are looking for. So bad for range in. Method is sky character. We can import. I don't want to import any libraries at this point. Straightforward as much we can. Uh, range. Okay, again it's converting into characters and then using it. Okay, next. Guys, feel free to search for your doubts because always gonna be helpful. When questions asked in interviews, they are very tricky and sometimes it gets to a point that you know the answer but then you end up being getting confused. Okay, for me, okay, CHR is function which is being used to get the Characters from the ASCII range. Okay, so it is pretty much clear. Let's go back to our code. So we are going to use the function chr to get it out of the. Okay, so we don't need anything here. We also don't need anything here. Okay. Now, so I'm using just list compression, which is like shortest thing I could do now, and everything else will be considered as a special character. Okay. So now let's go into the follow. If our character in string is where three in, if it's in the character alphabet list, we definitely gonna do the count. One, we're gonna define it later. Elif in less digits. We're gonna use digit count equal to one. Else like special character. So I forget. We have special count. It should be plus equal to one. Okay. Now I'm gonna use all this. Uh, if it's too much complicated or if it's too much basic, always feel free to pause, search for the way which better suits you, which better suits the level you are at. You can be at really at very advanced level, or you can be currently just learning at a learning phase. So it's just completely up to you. It will be very helpful for first week. Will be very helpful for someone uh, who's just entered the data analytics phase, or at least machine learning. Okay. So what we are doing here is using using for loop everywhere, in every case. So if you are familiar with SQL, you know there are case when statements. Similarly, we also have like in over here also we have the case statements. We can use those, but I'm just trying to solve it using the if else. That is the easiest way. I feel nothing can beat for loop and if else. Forever gems. Okay, so I'll just quickly give walkthrough. I'm getting a string into my var3 name, making it lowercase already. Then I'm defining two lists. First list will consist of all the alphabetical characters, and then second list is getting all the digits. Now we are defining three variables to hold the count for number of characters we have. Now what we are gonna do is we are gonna traverse through the var3 variable, and then one by one we're going to check if that exists in the list of like alphabets, or that exists in the digits list or not. And then if it's not existing in both of it, then we will just directly consider it as a special character. Okay, so we got the error. Okay, uh, I'll just note down my input also. So rtfw, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, maybe a question mark. What sort of password is this? Maybe, but then maybe I want to give a password, and yeah, that's my string. And we got is we have digit 0, which is completely wrong. Okay, let's find out why we are getting. It's not taking it as a int. Should come as int. Give it a shot again. Enter the same. It says 8 special character, which is considering 1, 2, 3 as the special characters. And I'm missing a very small thing. What is that? Digit, character, special count. Let's see what is happening inside ls digits. Okay, it's taking it as a int values, but not calculating the values it should. However, see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this makes now sense. Yeah, I mean, to explain this, like when we are checking this for loop, right, with it's initially a string. We are checking inside a string, so by default it will be passed as a string. We can't change every time, so we need to convert it other way around. Make our list as a part of string, not other way that we are gonna change it to the int. So this is the code. I use for loop. I used if else condition. Feel free to use your own way. Okay, moving to the next question. Now we have to mask the email ID. So what it means that whatever before at the rate and after the first two indexes. So again, I'm gonna pass uh, input, which is enter your mail ID and okay. So for this one, we're gonna do it in a two ways, or we can just use the replace. So if we're gonna replace, definitely we need to calculate the strings before at the rate. So although it's fixed that at the rate gmail.com how many characters it will be, but let's say like it's a hotmail or like let's say it's a outlook, so we don't want to restrict it to the gmail.com. uh, what I'm gonna do is I'll just find a way how to get the count before at the rate. So maybe I need to do something, get an index position of at the rate. Probably how we can do it. Just go to web and just check for a string function. the string. I want to go into very complex things, and let's see what it says. Find x using index. Index, the difference between two. What happens in the search? And found returns. Okay, we're gonna use find. So where for dot find at the rate. Just a quick check. Let's see if it's even working. I put yes at the rate gmail.com. And it's giving us the sixth version. Okay. Which means it's working. So we got the index is 6. Either if you want to store it in a um, in a variable you can, but I am not gonna store it in any variable for now. I'm just simply gonna replace it. Use it for replace. Let's go and see the replace function. Replace function in Python strings. Okay. Don't just want to replace. You also want to replace all the characters after that specific word. Place characters in a Python string. For a place. Where at the position of this, and then starting from dex 2, ecdef@gmail.com. Okay. Okay, so the aim is now to replace all this with the star. Probably if we get a I'm trying to figure out if we can use replace somehow. Replace this with star with string star into length of Am I making it more complex? Yes. But let's try it out. If it works, at least we're gonna know that we can have multiple ways of solving a problem, and it worked. Why? Okay, so what we are doing here is we're just basically getting the length of it and how many characters are there. I'm just simply replacing it with that specific character length. I'm going to give it another shot for with another mail. Let's try it out. Something MNPOLW at the rate hotmail.com, and just execute it. The- Okay, so yes, it does work. It replaced MOLW. I again will try something more combination s- just to see the real world example, and that's it. Okay, so all this is working. So yeah, like we can uh, still keep the host name as it is. There could be other ways. So probably I think the other way is to join it. Uh, Join it starting from the point uh, to the point where it's like till at the rate. But definitely go ahead, find your ways. Feel free to comment below so that everyone will get a new way of solving the problem rather than just one way. I definitely am sure that there will be way too many ways of doing it. This is my way of doing it in one line. Um, you probably can do it in your own style, your way of working. Let's go to the problem statement next. Replace month, shorts, name. Okay, so what we're gonna do? We clearly see that we are taking the first three characters. So just about the same. Okay, again specifying a new, enter the month name, your favorite month, and we're gonna trim it. When we say trim, we are not actually gonna use the trim function, but rather string slicing. So where 5 slice it with the first three characters, and also title it. We use title above, and we're gonna print it. My favorite month, I'm not gonna reveal. I mean, it's not a big deal, obviously. Definitely, August is not. But yeah, closer. So yeah, you can see we are getting. Even if I try to enter something in small, it's still gonna give me the result in caps. The first string will be caps. Okay, guys. So let's start with the next question. In the next question, we have extract hashtags from text, whatever text is there. So any specific character which starts with hash, we're gonna simply extract it. These are all the questions you're gonna definitely use in machine learning, because when you are working with the classification details, all this is required. Okay, so we're gonna just extract every word which starts with hash. So for this one, we can use actually split function. So what split will do? Split will uh, actually put make a gives a output as a list form, and then based on whatever delimiter you have specified, it will just give the list based on split the whole sentence based on that, or basically the string whatever. We're gonna use varchar dot split. Uh, if you want, you can just directly mention it here and then use it. Uh, we can prefer like you just if you really want to do it here, just define split over there. Okay, so I'm using split first to show how split actually works. So let's say I love Python hash r hash stats and I enter. Okay, uh, no attribute is split. Oh, I have specified it twice. Hash r hash. Okay, so now you see like we have a list of character and all we need to check is we can just simply use a list comprehension or a for loop, like basically you can specify as the way you want to. So where 6 which is like our list, in this we just want to get uh, if something starts with if. Okay, I'll just use the references word if word first is equal to hash, we're gonna print word. Okay, so now let's see. I'll again write I love Python hash ml hash stat. Make sure to keep it close hash r and then enter. So we're gonna get everything else in a form of list. Let's say you just don't want to get it in a form of list. We have another way of doing it. We just print it, then star. I forgot how we used to print it, but then definitely you can use join. I don't want to use join. Let's give it a shot again. Using with join. Okay, where I mentioned it. This is Python hash ml hash r. Okay, we did. Hash. I love hash maths, hash stats. I love variance. Okay, these are the values. How you can define it. There is another way of uh, printing a list using star, but I am not able to recall it. Let's quickly check over internet. Print the values from a list. Let's check on Stack Overflow. Yeah, okay. So star into my list. Where is it? And then separator will be slash n. I just want to give it a try. You can skip this part, but I want to make sure I learn all the things whatever exists. So I mean, for this way, so that I don't face such challenges in future or at one any point of time. I want to make sure things go align. Yeah, one small miss and then interviewer gonna roast you like anything. I love mountains, beaches, snowfall, Scotland, and whatnot. Definitely. So we got it in a um, with the separator slash n. It's complete. If you remove slash n, it will give you different sort of list. Okay, moving to the next question. Convert snake case to camel case. So those who don't know, I also searched what snake case is. So snake case is something like geeks for geeks Python. this is our snake case, and we want to do it into the camel case. So camel case will be geeks for geeks, like every other character with a hump. That's why it's basically called a uh, snake case and called as a camel case, and then above one is the snake case because it follows a trail. Yeah, which is very common to identify. Okay, when going to the snake case and camel case, let's find out a way how we can do it. So definitely again we're gonna use the split. We can replace or uh, better to join these in a way that every second index or like every yeah every every index which is at odd number will give the capitalized form. So I'll just again specify a string. I think in this video we are just gonna cover till 15 questions, and yeah, we already have like till 16 question. Sorry, 15 question, and then we're gonna start with JSON and data transformation. So we're gonna do it in the part two of this day one series. Okay, enter the same string. My man. Okay, let's first try to split it. Split based on the underscore. Okay, so we got the list. Now this list we're gonna traverse for for in range of length let's use the character. Or we can call it index, so I'll just keep it I. If I modulo, we can use for loop. I'm thinking just if we can use for loop not equal to 0, just want to replace. You can write it here. I guess if it's equal to 0, just keep the where 6 item number as it is, which is I. Else, skeptical if else gonna be in the first one rather than just keep on forgetting how this if else works inside a list comprehension. Feel the toughest part for me to remember this syntax. No, I still messed it up. Maybe I remember else we need to use later over here. Is it making sense? Let me try it out. I don't want to go and check again because this way never gonna remember it. Yeah, so we don't want to capitalize when it's modular, it's the way around. So I think it's working. Um, okay, now all we have to do is join this. So we're definitely gonna join it using join. Okay, so this is our snake case. So this is what we this is the expected output. We'll try something else. Um, let's say my love for Python. Okay, so we got my love for Python. Yeah, this is what the expected output is. I know the video is getting stretched too much. If you already know the answer, just you can really skip to the questions or just go with your own pace. Let's define the next one. Where 7. So the question is reverse words, not just the letters. So we just need to swap the list or like reverse the list. Again, you can always I already said it list because I know what when I saw the question, the first thing came to my mind is like split and then reverse. So to do that, we can enter the string basically. Then where 7. Again, I'm gonna split it in the first place. So I don't want to use a lot of time on mentioning it again and again. Where 7, and I just want to reverse it. Let me see if this one works or it just restricted to string. So controversial statement from follow I. Awesome. I need to just join it again. I'm using too much join, and few minutes back I said I'm not very confident with join. Feels like now it's getting my favorite because it's very easy to define it this way, and then mm, I follow what I follow celebrities. Celebs follow I. Okay, I'm just missing one point that is space. So we need extra space there. I follow the sun. Sun the follow I. Okay, so this is the statement we want to switch. There's no specification for capitalization or any special case for strings. Let's move to the next. Create a dictionary numbers square of numbers from. Okay, when we say numbers, first thing comes to our mind is range. Uh, okay, for dictionary, There is one way recently I saw is you can just specify dictionaries just directly. So I'll just say something like this is very straightforward. We don't have to specify any variable or ask for any user input. So I'm gonna make it a dictionary. I'm gonna specify so for I in range from 1 to okay. So there is trick for range you need to use, and then what I want is directly I want I, and for my dictionary purpose we have a key and then we have a value. So value is I square, so square of the value. So I just hope or I just think this should work. That's what I have recently got to know. Oh, it's I double. Okay, so 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, and then so on till 20. This is the output, expected output. Okay, this is how like dictionary. This is the simplest thing you can do in dictionary. Now convert list of tuples to dictionary, removing duplicates. Convert list of tuples to dictionary. So tuples to dictionary. When we say a list of tuple to dictionary, we're not talking about sets. So what it means tuple is something one, two, three, so, and then dictionary would be something like one. I didn't understood the question very well, but as far as I understood, this is what is expected. List of tuples to dictionary. List of tuples. Okay, which means not just one list. We have two, three lists, which is more like a JSON thing, is what I'm feeling. So usually in JSON we have too many values. We have to work based on the index. Something like, but how you gonna pass it in a form of tuple is what I'm thinking. List of tuples maybe. Oh, we're gonna pass a single list. Okay, and definitely we can enumerate. So enumerate is another thing which I really don't like. Yeah, there is more list of things which I don't like rather than there is a list which I actually like. I really like if else. I don't know about you guys. If else is something I am fond of. And then the item inside it. Okay. We want to convert it in the form of dictionaries. So again, as I said, dictionary, we need a key and a value. So key I'm giving is the index and value I'm giving is the tuple. Yeah. Okay, so first I'll define a dictionary. This is a dictionary reference for me. Can be anything for you. This is equal to up this value I, and then list will be sorry, the value will be item, and I'm gonna print. Yeah, there is something wrong. Doing the error is, let's see, I is equal to item. Oops. Yeah. So not it's just for defining the when we specify the value, it should be something like this. My bad. Earlier I had used ls for the list. I'll just specify where 10 is equal to input, enter the list of tuples. So we're gonna use the same list from here and gonna use it there. Let's see. Okay, So what is happening? It's all considering everything inside a list as a part of string. Okay, we don't have to. Let's give it another shot. We'll for now make it space separated. Later might be. Okay. So this is something in the dictionary. We are having this list of tuples, and then we can call it based on. Okay, and we don't want duplicates. That is another challenge. not not as a challenge as a challenge, but then yeah, something we missed. This is not a live session. We could have worked on together on this. Sorry. Uh, Probably we just want so we need another duplicate list. So when we say duplicate, should remove first the duplicate. So removing duplicate can be drop duplicate something. Not sure if list have something like that. It's definitely not gonna work here. It's what I feel. Let's find out why some things work. I don't always understand. Okay, so this is the 10th question, and I feel the video is stretching too much. So for now, I'll pause here and we'll move to the uh, part 2 for day 1. Okay, bye bye. See you guys later.